This will be a quick instructional video of how to use the label slayer on common round bottles. In this example, it's these pint and quart decanters used for maple syrup. When you receive your label slayer, you'll receive a hold down bracket. You'll receive the main jig that you see here. Depending on the model, if you're trying to do two different sizes with one label slayer, there'll be an insert like this, and then there'll be a stand to hold the roll of labels, along with a wooden rod. And you'll also have quart inserts. Quart inserts are also included in the label slayer purchase. The first thing you'll want to do is bolt this or secure this to a work surface. This can be done with the hold down bracket. Simply slide it in the front. Now you can secure this to a work surface. You can use woodworking clamps. I have clamps like this here if it's a temporary setup, or if you want, you could also just bolt that down if it's a permanent type work location. Before bolting it down or securing it to the work surface, you want to determine what your labeled direction needs to be. This jig can be mounted in this direction or this direction based on what the rewind is of your label. The rewind direction can be either number 3 or number 4. You'll want the roll of labels to come off the top of that roll when you put it on the stand. And then the back wall, needs to be on the bottom side of that label, because that's the bottom side of the bottle. So in this case, my labels come off that top side. It'll be on the stand like this. This is the bottom of my label, so I want to secure it in this orientation. If my labels happen to be the other direction, I will just rotate it and secure it the other direction. So here, I'm just going to rotate it there. I'll slide this piece in its place, and then I can clamp right here. These are common clamps available on Amazon, fairly inexpensive. They work fairly well. You can also use woodworking clamps, or like I said, you could also bolt or screw it down to a permanent work surface. Now that this is secure, now we'll attach our stand just by simply sliding it on. Now we'll take our roll of labels, we'll add our quart inserts, and these are 3-inch cores. 3-inch cores on the label. Very common in the label industry. I've yet to see anybody not use a 3-inch core. Then we'll use our 1-inch wooden rod, place our labels on the stand. Now we can thread up our carrier sheet and our labels. When you do so, you want to use the top slot in the back of that, on the back side of the jig. If you thread up to the top slot, the label material will come out this slot right here, right where that label needs to be applied to the bottle. So I'm going to take the carrier sheet. It is convenient if you can rip it on an angle. It makes it a little easier to thread up at times. Now I'm going to put it in the top slot on the back, and that label carrier sheet will come through right in that slot where the bottle will rest. Once we thread it up, now we want to rotate the label carrier sheet and go in this next lower slot right here. So rotate that, go down that second slot, and that carrier sheet will come right out the front. This makes it very convenient to pull on it while we rotate the bottle. So I'm just going to pull on that through. As we get close to the first label, you'll see how that label gets applied or gets exposed right there. In this case, we'll start with with quarts. So in this case, I'll put the quart right in the jig. Every label slayer is really tailored to that specific bottle, so it puts that label right in the right spot for that bottle. Here, I'm going to pull on the backing. As I do so, the label will begin being applied to the bottle. I'll then want to rotate the bottle while I pull on the carrier sheet. This part right at the end, you want to stop right away. If you keep pulling here, the next label will get applied. And that's how the label slayer applies those labels. After doing a few, you can go much faster and get comfortable with it. Very quickly applies those labels. The specific model, because within the maple syrup industry, many customers use these pints and decanter quarts. The label width is identical to both sizes. In that case, we can use a simple insert like this to swap between the pints and the quarts. You'll notice this is the same size as that, and then it holds the pint just securely as well. So what I do is put this in this jig. I'll put this little slot in the top slot here just to hold it securely in place. And now I can put the pint in there, pull on the carrier sheet just like I did before, and very quickly apply labels to both my pints and my quarts.